Let's get this bitch started. This is the And Go podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Bill.
Welcome to the game. So, Mike, you have a wonderful topic for us tonight, don't you? To start us
I
off.
sure do, Brian. Tonight and every night.
I don't want to know about
spend
your
a-
other nights.
Oh,
But-
don't you, though?
I plead the fifth.
Uh, so, I've been playing a lot of Jedi Fallen Order recently. I'm only about 10 hours into the game, so I'm thinking I'm at the halfway mark at this point. And I thought it would be a good time to review some Star Wars games from yesteryear and how the new one stacks up to it. So, anyone who knows me knows that I've played through Rogue Squadron. Well, let me start. I'll just start there. Rogue
Start
Squadron
at
is,
the
I think,
beginning.
the best Star Wars game of all time.
Except for that escort mission. Hated that one.
I did not share Adam Sessler's hatred of escort mission. They're fine.
I had
One thing that I thought about today while I was pretending to work was that it was one of the first Star Wars games to highlight a strong female character that wasn't, because they had a pilot that defected about halfway through the game, who was a woman, and not only, and this was before the time where, there was kind of a push to diversify multimedia outlets.
Well, geeks have always been diversified. Blacks, women. They really actually sort of excluded the Spanish, but Asians. Geeks have always respected the diversity of the world, pretty much. Go on, Mike.
Probably not just call them black. But, and it also highlighted something interesting. The Empire wasn't really keen on hiring, and I'm getting off topic of the games, but the Empire was never really keen on hiring or employing non-humans in the command chain. That was actually a big point of
They're space
Star Wars Dark
Nazis.
Forces Rising. Is that Thrawn was one of the only non-humans in a major role. But they were very inclusive of women, because some of the most, at least from what is now the Legend series, some of the most storied pilots in particular were female pilots. Kind of interesting. But I don't remember once until the new series seeing a Rebel female pilot. Not until like Rogue One.
Oh, you're saying
No.
that the Empire is more gender exclusive and the Rebels are more species exclusive.
Just a thought.
I don't know, because you also see a lot more women in leadership roles in the Rebels, though.
That's true. Mon Mothma.
And so, I don't know that I would go just purely by pilot. I mean, we're talking about,
No, that's-
you know.
It's a good point. It was just something I was throwing out there.
Okay, so
Tidbit.
a Rebel One or Rebel Yellow is your favorite Star Wars game.
Now,
Where does
you know what's going on,
Shallow?
Rose.
Where does Shadows of the Empire? Probably not my favorite, but definitely one of the most memorable ones from my heyday. Shadows of the Empire, which officially is non-canon now. So fuck you, Disney.
Well, real quick, I just want to go back and talk a little bit more about Rogue Squadron.
Okay.
Great graphics for the time, great storyline. The replayability is intense. Literally once every couple of years, I will fire it up just to get gold medals on all the levels all over again. I heart you, Rogue Squadron. I wish they would make more of you.
Definitely due for a remake. It's on my top 5 as well. No question.
Well, I don't know about remake. Remember when they remake Battlefront, which is my number one? That thing was garbage. I was excited that my wife got me it for Christmas,
Bye-bye.
and I was like, oh, I should have waited for the reviews. This game is so monotonous. It's drilling crap into my brain. EA, they ruined
Oh, that's
everything.
EA for
Well,
you, yeah.
recently they've been ruining everything. I've been the wife got Dragon Age Inquisition, and that's a hell of a game. It's old, like what, 2014, and it still stands up.
Now, that was one of the games that, because EA went on a kick where they were buying a bunch of developers. that one of the ones? I don't even know who did Dragon Age.
I think it was BioWare.
Okay. And I think that is one of the ones
yeah.
that EA acquired and then shut down.
That would make sense.
But so my number 2 would be Battlefront. PlayStation 2, Battlefront. Great graphics. We played that game a lot back in the day.
Battlefront 2 was only slightly better than the first one, just because it had more variation. They're both great games, but Battlefront 2, slightly better in my opinion.
I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, it's been a long time.
They're almost the same game, but yeah, I think I'd agree with that too.
So, where's Shadow of the Empire? Yeah,
we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
So impatient.
Number 3,
I am.
Dark Forces.
Say that again?
Dark Forces.
Okay.
PlayStation 1 first-person shooter. I liked it because it was not your typical Star Wars story. You weren't a Jedi. You were just a guy trying to steal the Death Star plans, actually. And a lot of fun levels, a lot of slight nods. Just an all-around fun game. I tried to play it about a year ago, and the graphics do not stack up well. But time and place, it was a great one for me.
Never heard. I think I've heard you mention it, but never played it myself. So definitely not on any list that I would put together. But you were always
Shadows of the Empire.
Okay.
Comes in at number 4 for me.
Okay, at least it's there. We don't have to do the internet fight me. Shadows is great. Fight me for it. Coming true.
Yeah, no, man. Dash Rendar, his cool... I mean, Dash Rendar was just like a blatant Han Solo knockoff.
Oh, definitely a stand-in. Yeah.
Yes, like Han Solo's little brother.
Yeah. He also had a Corellian freighter, that had the side cockpit.
Yeah.
I think his sidekick was like a droid of some kind.
Although my fondness for that game, the details are lost on me. I'll have to go back and check that out.
Oh. So you're a fake fan?
I'm not a fake fan. I'm just not excessive fired up. Okay, I just remembered it had an impression on me at that time. Okay, for a game to have that impact.
There's a lot of variety of gameplay. I distinctly remember too from childhood, like using the N64 controller. You had to press like all the buttons to use that one cheat code to like get like unlimited ammo or something like that, and you had to like use your nose to move the joystick back and forth because you had to press all the buttons.
That's pretty funny.
Well, at least it takes a high level of skill for that cheat code. So props to them for
earned that
cheat
code.
For it.
Yeah.
You have to have a third arm or a friend. Not something many geeks have.
Right.
Well,
were you going to make a penis joke, Mike?
I was, but then I refrained.
Yeah, I should have saw that coming. Well, if you do penis push-ups, you have the strength in your... No. We made it...
Yeah, we made it 10 minutes before I made a penis joke.
New record.
Progress, baby. I'm putting, even though I haven't finished it yet, Fallen Order is coming in at number 5 for me.
Okay.
Now, there are some other games lower on the list that I really enjoyed, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But with the exception of a few weird technical glitches, I think it... Oh, so... Can we talk about the story of Fallen Order a little bit? I know, Bill, you got it. You haven't really dived into it yet.
Yeah, I just bought it and haven't started playing it yet, so try to keep the spoilers.
This is not really it's not really a spoiler. It's kind of the main story of the game. So the whole idea is, and you learn all this within the first 20 minutes of playing the game. There was a list made of Force-sensitive children in the galaxy that you're now trying to recover, in essence, to possibly restart the Jedi Order. Now,
Broom Kid,
what I don't like about... What's that?
Broom Kid, huh?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
What I don't like about that is, it's just so cliche. It's the whole... oh no, Ethan Hunt, they have the list of all the operatives and in the world, and now you have to go find it so you can, keep them alive. I don't know. I rolled my eyes. I feel like I audibly rolled my eyes. I decided that was.
Rolled my
But it's
eyes so
gorgeous.
hard.
Eventually I'm going to get a console, and even if I beat the game on PC, I fully intend to get it on PS4 so I can play through it again on the big screen. It is just gorgeous.
For all the console achievements, probably.
Yeah, that'd be cool to get the PS4 trophies or whatever it is that they have.
Trophies, most useless thing. I was playing Resident Evil 2 recently, and I was basically dying as Claire, and I basically, in my death throes, I shot the tyrant's hat off, and it gave me an achievement for it. I'm like, what? I shot his hat off, and I got an achievement for that? I mean, it's sort of cool, but what?
You have to do like the most bass-ackwards things sometimes to get. And how are you supposed to know half of that stuff without looking up what the achievements are?
Yeah, right?
Now, I don't know. I haven't played console in a long time. Does it tell you what they are? I always said like you just had to kind of.
Yes, on a console. I mean, I'm sure they have achievements on PC, but Xbox is famous for their little achievements, from what I
I
remember.
did like hearing that noise.
I think they might have coined that, but don't quote me on that.
Could be, yeah, because you have to call them trophies.
Yeah, it's trophies on PlayStation, yeah.
Copyright infringement, activate.
You can customize your lightsaber, which is kind of neat in Fallen Order. It handles really well. The enemies, I think, are pretty solid.
I saw.
Again, this isn't a spoiler. Sometimes you have to fight like little animals.
How glitchy is it? I took your suggestion with Video Game Donkey, and it looked buggy as hell from what he was doing.
He does like to be dramatic. You'll see that on a lot of the reviews.
He highlights the bugs,
And-
so the whole game isn't like that. You'll just find
No.
a few here and there.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't had anything that's like game breaking. There were a few times where I fell off a cliff when I don't nothing super warm. But again, I haven't. That's actually one of the only games on my list where you play as a Jedi. So I think that says a lot.
Yes, your hatred of the Jedi and your love of the smugglers. You love to smuggle, Mike. You just love to smuggle.
I love underpowered things in an overpowered universe. Like in Gundam Wing, my favorite suits are always like the Leos or the Tallgeese, because here you have these like, Gundanium mechs, la-di-da, going up against just a standard issue, mass-produced vehicle that is way undergunned and still holds its own. And who doesn't like an underdog, right? That's what I'm going for there. Number 6, Pod Racer. Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer for the N64.
It's not a bad game. I liked it better in the arcade, actually.
No.
I never, where you can sit in the Pod Racer.
Yeah.
I think
wasn't
that like Twisted Metal for pod racing, or was that a different game?
I think that was
it was it was a straight up racer.
Okay, yeah, never that big into racers. I don't think that would make my list at all. Plus the hatred of Episode 1. That movie wasn't the worst in the world, but a lot of people had a hard-on hate for Anakin. Was Jar Jar even in that one?
Yeah.
So you had the double dose of the annoying duo.
That kid left Hollywood.
Yeah, shamed out of Hollywood for that performance.
And this was before the internet was like a big thing.
Oh, God.
It's not like there were a bunch of tweets. He just got ridiculed by his classmates. Can you imagine? It's like this kid, the parents probably thought that they were made in the shade, This kid got the lead role in probably the most anticipated movie of that decade, for sure. And everyone just crapped all over him. And he was just reading the lines on the paper, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I never really blame actors. I blame directors of when they decide to work with a certain child actor. You should know how to work them. I blame the directors when it comes to bad child actors, okay? Or casting directors, okay?
Casting director.
Okay, I don't know why he was. Maybe he was a bad actor. Maybe he got bad directing lines. Let's move on from that. Okay, next, you're just bringing up
Yeah,
so
no,
much.
great voice acting. I like that you could customize the ships. The graphics were good. It was replayable as hell. I was always going back trying to get the better times on the different courses. Alex and I play that game a lot, actually. So I think it is objectively pretty good.
So you're achievement
If
hunter.
sometimes, yeah. I mean, when there was no online gameplay. You have your stack of cartridges. What are you gonna do? You're gonna replay them. When you're bored on a rainy Saturday afternoon.
I generally went with games that had progressive difficulties and tried to play through it. Like with Resident Evil 4, I freaking got so good at that game I could almost use the knife for like for the half the game. I could just knife every enemy. That's how obsessive I was with that one. But that was a damn good game. Unlike pod racing. So, what's next on your list, Mike?
Uh, the coming in at the number 7 spot. This was one that I actually debated over a little bit, but this ended up being Galactic Empire, which was a PC game. It was unfortunately very buggy. Like it would always crash my computer after about 2 hours of playing it.
Knights of the Old Republic? Just a guess?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no. It's called Galactic Empire.
Okay. Your mics are cutting out sometimes, so it's hard to keep up with what you're saying
Apologies.
all times. Well, we'll
Yeah, I gotta
fix
get it
that in
back.
the future, but we're having fun for now. You having fun, Bill?
Having fun.
You're being rather quiet. You're not very opinionated about these Star Wars games.
Well, waiting for him to finish his list, and then we can discuss. He might have
Okay.
something down the line.
So you're making me the jackass to interject. Okay. Continue, Mike, so Bill has things to say.
You know what? This is slightly embarrassing, but I think I have the name of the game wrong because there are like 5 games with a similar name. It's like Galaxies, Galactic Empire, Empire at War, Rebellion, Star Wars Rebellion. I apologize. Is
Okay, yeah, I
the
vaguely
game I'm
remember
thinking
that.
about.
Yeah, it was buggy as all hell. I think I only got a few levels and I just threw up my hands out of frustration with that one. Was that the
And
two disc one?
yeah, so it was. I had it on CD-ROM. It was a strategy game, but it was like one of those resource-heavy strategy games where you had to build your ships at different shipyards and then manage the resources.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had this game. Now that you're saying it's ringing bells for me, yeah, I played this for a while too.
I I really wish I never beat one campaign. I even bought it on Steam a couple of years ago, and I put like another 40 hours into it and never beat one campaign. But I just had so much freaking fun
Yeah.
managing my stuff and
Mhm.
the next one on my list, Empire at War, had the same kind of thing. They had a little resource management. They had the planet management system. Didn't quite.
Okay.
So that's number 6 and 7. Kind of redundant, but I feel like both are worth a mention. Coming in at number 8 is Bounty Hunter. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
are Bounty Hunter,
Solid bounty hunter.
Django Fett game.
Yes. As I said, the smugglers. I should have included bounty hunters in there, but Mike always gets his woman or man.
That is not
I gotta ask,
true.
since you brought it up, what do you think of the Mandalorian?
Oh, I like it, man. I've been liking it.
You been liking it?
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth. The first couple of episodes, I don't know, just kind of moved kind of slow for me. Kind of seemed cliche. Like they were like, "Hey, remember this from one of the other movies?" and like just kind of tossed a bunch of shit in there, for nostalgia's sake. And so I was kind of like, but it got a little bit better. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. I think it's a little too boiled down to, you know, blast a bunch of stuff and then Baby Yoda's being cute, you know. But so hopefully they develop the story a little bit more.
Oh, that's the Baby Yoda meme that's up there. I haven't been
Yeah.
keeping up with it. I could have watched the first episode, but I'm not liking the Disney Plus thing. That's all, you guys. I mean, I hate nostalgia bait. Okay, I
Yeah,
could.
I've been trying. Go ahead.
Oh, I could go on a tirade about how much I hate nostalgia bait, but let me wait until things boil down before I tend to do that. I'm sure there's a lot more, but continue, Mike.
I mean, like I don't mind like when they put a little bit of nostalgia in there or even like stuff to just kind of tie it to the universe, and I get that. But I felt like a lot of the sets and a lot of the stuff almost felt like recycled. And you're like, are you on Tatooine? No. Okay, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's just kind of like they recycled a whole bunch of stuff, and it just doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel new. So I mean, we'll see where they go with it, but you know,
I get that, and honestly, parts of it for the first couple of episodes, it almost felt like they didn't really know what kind of tone they were going.
yeah,
Because first they'll have, I thought the um, score was interestingly done. That's probably my biggest complaint of the series so far. Is the I don't like the end theme. It sounds very like A Team to me.
mm,
Uh, and at the beginning, you almost think, okay, they're gonna go. I think Django Unchained has one of the best soundtracks in recent memory because it was, paying homage to, Western roots. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. They took a song right out of there, but then they interjected some new stuff as well,
mm.
or injected some new stuff. With this, it almost felt like they were trying to go. They were thinking about leaning into the whole, spaghetti western in space thing, and then they kind of backed off. And so I feel like they didn't really hit a groove for a while.
The theme sounds like Stranger Things done by Marvel.
Huh. See, I
Think
haven't
about
seen Stranger Things.
yeah, yeah.
It sort
Just the
of dropped
music, yeah.
off after the second season.
What do you think of the whole like clan cult thing? The Mandalorian, like you know, all the like weird repetitive like what was it? This is the way, you know.
Right. I thought that felt a little shoehorned in.
Say again?
That felt a little shoehorned in.
Yeah, yeah. You're like what is that about? You know?
Yeah, it almost felt like I don't know if you guys ever had this experience, but when I was a kid, I distinctly remember a few friends of mine when they would learn a word, it was like the only fucking word they would use for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
How old are you
Like I
talking
remember,
about?
like when I was in elementary school, I
Oh, okay.
vividly remember this kid just heard the word conflicted for the first time, and I guess he thought it was the fucking best word. And so like every other sentence, he was talking about how this or that is conflicted. So the this is the way thing
Yeah.
reminded me that like one of the writers, 2 episodes in, was like, "Oh, we should make like a this is the way kind of deal." Like, yeah, man, put it on every page, all coked out. Oh, now the guy that says "I have spoken" is gone now, so we need some other like
Yeah, right.
super catchy thing to say. Let's make it this is the way.
Like Brian with your nonsensical. I remember that
Which nonsense?
you learning that in elementary school and then saying it like 10 billion times.
Nonsensical?
Yeah, it's like your favorite word there for like forever.
Well, a lot of things are nonsensical, and a lot of people are nonsensical. So let's stop talking about this nonsense.
Uh,
Because it's nonsensical!
but
Sorry,
we
that
could
was just.
probably do a whole another episode on it because I'm
What,
wishy washy.
nonsense?
I've always loved the lore of the Mandalorians. Like they're so few and far between. But I guess that is another one of those things where every little thing does not need to be explained. Like, oh, that's why you only see one Mandalorian at a time. It's because they live this secret lifestyle. That's
Yeah.
why you only saw Boba Fett or only saw Jango Fett.
I
I
feel,
could have done without that.
I almost feel like though, like they should have just gotten that out of the way at some point already with like mentioning Boba Fett or Jango and just letting it go.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
mention it and get it out of the way.
yeah. And that one scene where, like, at the end, or I think it's episode 3, we're at the end. Have you seen all the episodes?
Yeah, I have him.
When, like, the one guy is jetpacking along the ship and he gives him a little salute.
Yeah, what's that
That
about?
was that was cringy.
Yeah, that was Iron Man. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Well, that's the thing. He wasn't even imitating the main guy. He was just kind
Yeah,
of doing it for no. And so a little backstory. Minor spoilers. The Mandalorian has a tribe of other Mandalorians. He had to leave the tribe. There was one guy that he was kind of butting heads with, but even that guy came to the Mandalorian's back when he needed him. And they had like kind of a goodbye. You could tell there was no hard feelings or whatever. They were all part of the same tribe. So that was done. You didn't need to then add salute you, Mandalorian.
one more. This is the way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which they
And then
did right before that, actually. Yeah,
he even dropped I gotta get me one of those.
yeah, they definitely
Come
did.
on, man.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the book of cliches was thrown at that thing for that particular time, at least.
Then they couldn't figure out which code he was supposed to follow because it was like the bounty hunters code as part of the
Yeah.
guild, but then there was the Mandalorian code, and like it's like, oh come on, it's getting too complicated.
It's possible I'm a racist, by the way, because for a split second I thought that Carl Weathers was Ernie Hudson.
Well, we didn't hear that, so you should move
Yeah.
on. Okay, you're not racist, Mike. Look at where you
Thank
live and
you.
who your friends are, okay? Not
Yes, that's
us. We're white, but the rest of your friends are pretty much black.
Did you think he was
Eh.
Billy D?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. Who did you think? I gotta know now. Who did you think Carl Weathers was?
I thought it was Ernie Hudson.
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, Ghostbusters, all right.
Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, no, 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 Predator.
Okay, I
Fuck.
can see that.
Alex thought he was Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams has a very unique look.
That's who I thought you were gonna say, to be honest.
Sure, no, I get that.
Yeah.
What a great name, by the way, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Touch on that real
Yes.
quick. Solid name. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of 10, I believe I'm on my last pick here.
Mhm.
And this one, I almost made. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are surprised that there's no Knights of the Old Republic on this list so far.
Yeah.
That's because I never played it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I tried to play Knights of the Old Republic 2, but
Not the
it
same.
glitched out 40 minutes into me playing. So I was like, oh, that's annoying, but whatever. I restarted because I couldn't get past that part. And then it glitched again at the same part. So then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. They're slow to start anyway, but the first one was better.
I've heard nothing but great things. It's a game that I still, every now and again, it shows up on a Steam sale, and I think hard about buying it.
Yeah, I'd recommend picking it up when you see it.
Yeah.
So, what is this mysterious number 10, or did I miss that?
No, you did not. Number 10, I'm going with Rebel Assault 2.
Hmm. Okay.
PlayStation 1 game, double disc. Probably the only good game that I can think of that used video of people
Oh,
cutscenes.
it was like a Wing Commander sort of Star Wars game.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Wing Commander, I think that made it popular. And what was the first RTS? I don't know, was it Dune 2, which is a little ironic. You were bringing up the sort of tactical style game, and Dune 2. Can anyone correct
Dune
me?
2000?
No, Dune 2. Supposedly there was
Like-
two Dune games, and Westward, who did Command and Conquer, did Dune 2. And they liked that style so much, they made a whole nother game. Westwood, the guys who did Command and Conquer, pretty much started RTS as far as I know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if
Blizzard jumped in later with Warcraft and StarCraft.
StarCraft. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything before Command and Conquer, and I hear Westwood did a science fiction adaptation, Dune 2. Just fun facts
Yeah.
to
No, I
throw
think it
out
was
there now.
Dune 2000. I think it's the game because there would have had to have been a Dune 1.
There was a Dune one, but it was more like it was a. I saw a video on this recently. It was like a click. It was more honoring the book. It was more dialogue based. You know, you
Okay.
go through dialogue trees,
Okay. Yeah, I'm not maybe wrong. I don't know.
and I
I
think
do
there
remember
was a
that.
Dune 2000 in
Yeah.
around the year 2000. People were obsessed with the 2000 even before it happened.
Sure.
Like, what was the game we used to play? That racing game, Bill? Galaxy 2000.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. I think that was 5,000.
Okay,
Galaxy 5,000, I
5,000 too.
think.
Probably 5,000. There was
Really
other.
fun game.
I mean, honestly, Rogue Squadron 2, I kept that one off the list because of the on foot missions. I thought that was pretty lame. Put me back. It was graphically amazing. Big step up from Rogue Squadron 1, to be honest. But I really did not like the on foot missions.
Hmm.
And the combat in Rebel Assault 2 was pretty much on rails. It was, one of those where you're not really controlling your character's movement. You're just kind of setting up behind a box, and then you'd have to pop out of cover and shoot some droids or whatever, and then go back. But it was graphically pretty good, and the space combat was fun. And it was a fun story. You were trying to steal a prototype of a new TIE fighter. But that was kind of a unique story in the Star Wars universe. And yeah, I guess a couple honorable mentions. Did you ever play that fighting game?
Oh, the one with like Luke on the front.
Yeah,
I,
Homajawa or something like that.
yeah, I vaguely remember that one. It's like called like Star Wars Masters or something. I don't remember what.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that looked cool. Never played it, but it did look cool.
Yeah, I never played that one either. There was a couple that missing from your list though. That I kind of remembered being fun games. Jedi Power Battles. PlayStation. Actually, it was PlayStation 1, but it was also on Dreamcast. I think I had the one on Dreamcast.
I
Uh,
never play. I don't think I've ever heard of that one, to be honest.
yeah, it was an episode 1 game, but it was really fun. Very good like lightsaber play. And there was like a training mode or something that you could use as like a versus battle or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Pretty interesting, yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at it now. It does look pretty cool. Honestly,
Yeah.
some of the prequel games were pretty good.
Some of them were, yeah, yeah. Also, I was a
I
big
think
fan of the Star Wars trilogy game, the one that was in the arcade. You remember that one had like almost like a
yes.
flight joystick? Oh man,
Yep.
I played that so much at like Dave and Buster's and like wherever I found it. I would love to have that cabinet.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that was a great one. You had to fight with Boba Fett and deflect the blaster
Yep,
shots and stuff.
yep, yep.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Yeah, you played it through all three movies. That was oh man, that was one of the best arcade games, in my opinion, like ever.
Intentionally left off the list were the SNES Star
Oh
Wars
yeah, yeah,
because they can burn in hell. They can burn in a fire.
yeah, yeah. They
I
are
don't
hard
think I
as
might
shit.
have purged them from my memory. I remember
They're
some
fucking
deep,
impossible, man.
some Game Boy Advance games, which were not Game Boy Advance, Game Boy General Star Wars games, which were so ridiculously bad. Like I'm
They
pretty.
were fun. They were just impossible.
Yeah, yeah.
Even today, I got an SNES Classic, and Alex, you can put ROMs on there.
Hmm.
Alex found a bunch of old ROMs and put them on there, and he and I sat down one Sunday evening or whatever. Oh, it wouldn't be fun to boot these up. Maybe we'll be better at them now that we're adults with fully formed frontal cortexes.
Not so much. Yeah,
No, man, no.
It's
yeah.
like the original Ninja Turtles game. We could not get past that one level. At least I couldn't
Oh God,
for
you
the
talking about
longest
the
time.
first one?
Yes.
NES.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my
NES.
god, that game was so frustrating. Yeah,
Yes. Finally, we
that,
went back as adult. I did at least. And like, oh, okay, that one jump wasn't that hard, but as a kid, couldn't
yeah,
do it.
that one stupid jump, and it was like toward the end of the game too.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
NES can burn in hell for half the games.
I remember us getting frustrated at that one, and getting pissed off, and just turning it off, and then throwing in one like Turtles 3, and just beating the crap out of it, and all the way through to the end, just out of frustration.
Taking all your anger out.
Yeah, yeah. God, I can't
Yes.
tell you how many times we beat the rest of them.
Yes. Turtle 2s, Turtle 3.
Turtles in Time. Yeah,
Turtles in Time. I remember.
Mhm. Good games, but
I think yeah.
So what else?
Knights of the Old Republic. I was surprised that wasn't on the list. So, but yeah, I understand why if you haven't played it. Like, but that definitely deserves a spot.
that's
Yeah, I
the
thought about putting it on there just for that, just for the legendary aspect of it. Everyone loves it.
Yeah,
like everyone loves Raymond.
yeah. I think Brian, you were out of the room for a second. I also mentioned Jedi Power Battles.
Yeah,
That episode one against.
I actually heard you. I have the
Oh,
headset
okay.
Bluetooth. I heard you, but I couldn't speak.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Power battles. I
Hmm.
have a feeling.
It was
I
better on
remember.
Dreamcast than it was on PlayStation.
I
I would
remember
say that.
Power Stone,
Oh yeah.
but I think I remember Power Battles. I wasn't so impressed with that, if I'm remembering it correctly. It
It
was
looks
just
fun. I'm looking at some pictures.
it was just like a standard 2v2.
It was like I want to say it was like a platformer kind of thing. Um,
Okay, then I'm not thinking of the
it,
right thing.
and then there was like a mode where you could play um like versus each other, like as a way to like learn the moves and stuff like that.
Oh, yes, I do remember this one. It was okay.
I just had a lot of fun playing it. That's why I would probably put it in there.
Sure. Looking through. Oh, Republic Commando. I never. I have it. I keep meaning to play it, but I've heard really good things. Where you play as like a clone trooper.
Yeah, never played it. I
Force
know what you're talking
Unleashed.
about though. Yeah, yeah. Force Unleashed was decent too. Yeah,
So,
gameplay wise anyway. I thought they got a little ridiculous with some of the force powers in that one, but
so here's a thought: if they made current Star Wars the new trilogy, and you know they will at some point make it into a video game, what do you think the best route for that would be?
Good question.
Okay, would you
Uh,
have Ray play through the game, or would you do some prequel, like some arcing stuff, like how Ray and Finn got from the first movie to the second movie in the new trilogy? Just curious. I mean, are there any real bounty hunters in the new trilogy?
I'm sure they're there. They're not.
yeah.
They're not prominent figure like Boba Fett or a smuggler like Han. I mean, Han played the smuggler in that one, then got
Yeah,
killed by his own son.
yeah.
I'm
I
taking
think there's.
more of a
With the
million.
exception of. Sorry.
It's fine.
With the exception of like a cheesy game where Ray's slashing a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of unexplored territory between Return of the
Mm,
Jedi and
I wouldn't mind seeing them like go a little old school with it and just split it up into like the. A lot of those games got split up into like different aspects, like a flight game, and then like you had like your blaster part or lightsaber part, because they could do that with the like three of the like character story arcs. They could do like
sure.
they could do Finn with like blaster and his arc from like leaving the empire, or the first order, I guess. And then like you have Ray that starts out with like that staff, and then you could even move into later into like a lightsaber. And then you have well, help me out with his name. What's his name again? The guy who flies the
Oh,
X-wing.
oh.
Yeah, Poe. Yeah, so you could have him do like the flight missions and stuff, and break it down, a game that breaks it down into those three, and then have them like interweave.
Are they? Do they have any really epic space battles in
I think
that?
there was a couple. Yeah, like there's a couple. Like even what the one where Han is on that planet where he meets the old lady at the bar. I'm like
Yeah,
totally blanking
Maz
on names right
Kanata.
now. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my mind keeps going blank on names. But anyway,
Whatever.
yeah. So they had that really cool battle there. I mean, they've
Yeah,
had a
true.
couple. They had a couple. The bombing run that they did, that was another good one.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough there to make a pretty good flight game, and you could flesh it out.
Yeah, no, there's. I haven't been keeping up with the. Because they have the line of comics and the novels that are supposed to fill in the blanks in the new trilogy. I haven't been keeping up
Oh,
with those.
yeah. Supposedly there's a novel you pretty much have to read to understand between uh, the new one and the recent one that came out, Last
Sure.
Jedi and Rise of the Skywalkers. I don't know how it can be Rise of the Skywalkers. There's no Skywalkers left
Well,
unless they
it's.
CG Leia, and I don't understand the name. Maybe after the
I think
movie.
it's less literal. I think it's like Skywalker's the new moniker for the legendary hero that's going to save us from
I guess we'll have to
the.
wait until it comes out to figure that one out. Why is it the Rise
Yeah.
of the Skywalkers? Uh,
That was a good question though. About what games would fit into the new trilogy.
yeah, I mean,
It's
I
it's, it's surprising now that we're talking about it. Sorry to cut you off, but it's surprising they haven't made one yet.
It
you
is.
know, well, the marketability. It's just games take longer nowadays. I'm sure that there is one in the works. It's just gonna take like probably gonna release something after the movie.
What they should do is make a Captain Phasma game because she was wasted.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree with that.
and sure, shiny armor, but how did she get to be so renowned? A couple of her adventures before the start of Force Awakens and whatnot. That could be fun.
Yeah,
Have anyone
yeah.
played the story mode of Battlefront 2? I played it briefly on something, and it was okay. It was
I have
better
not.
than the
No,
first one.
I almost bought it just for the space battles because I played the demo and that was a lot of fun, but I kind of boycotted it.
Yeah. The microtransactions of EA, their evil practices, well, what people are calling evil, I just think people are stupid for buying that and for caring if someone has a greater advantage. But I'm sort of I don't care if I have a disadvantage in multiplayer. Just
No, I think that's pretty lame. Pay to win.
yeah,
Like
I
Yeah,
don't
you,
agree with it, but it's not something I would boycott over.
my main gripe was just kind of felt like they would, it's one of those "fuck you, you'll buy it" moments where we'll just slap Star Wars on there, and all these fans are going to come out of their pockets, get the special edition that. Have you heard about some of those games that you get the special edition for? Don't even come with the game.
that's
Like you get,
crazy.
yeah, man, here's a statue of Darth Vader's helmet and a tin box for the game. Game not included. What?
How much
That's
was
insane.
the
It's like $150, and there's several examples of stuff just like that. And this is the one place where capitalism really works. All we have to do is vote with our wallet, not buy it, and the market will adjust.
this is why I'm sort of against getting Disney Plus. I don't want to give Disney any money generally because they really are monopolizing the movie industry. If if people don't stop buying Disney stuff, or at least them actually like if this new movie is just crap, you know what I mean though.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean.
I mean, it already sounds like a mess. I heard they only did the cut of it recently, and it's supposed to come out on the 20th. The whole practice of not preparing something for a special date is ludicrous. Like Fallout 76. Okay, that was buggy as shit. That's another company that's really gone downhill, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's another fuck you. You'll buy it. Oh, it's Fallout. You'll buy it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it can be buggy.
Never again. Okay, Bethesda. Although we're Maryland boys and I used to have respect for them, I can't respect them anymore. Just can't.
I knew
Next
that game
game.
wasn't for me. There's no story. There's no NPCs. You know, that's what I liked about Fallout.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have something. I about bought Outer Worlds just as a like fucking hell. Fallout
Sure.
76 was crap. Let me see what the guys who did New Vegas can do. It was a damn good game, also. Wasn't Fallout? Probably could have been longer, but a damn good short game.
Yeah, no, I think it's telling that hopefully this is a good signal to going back to EA that since they bought Respawn and actually kept them intact, and now
Mm.
they've put out two games for them that have done really well financially and in terms of reviews. Hopefully that's kind of a lesson learned for them where they shouldn't just buy these developers, gut them, and then put out, for lack of a better term, EA quality games just under a different name.
Yeah, I admit EA's already got a bad reputation, so they're gonna have to do some things to make it better. Studio that
Yeah,
really got my goat is Epic, but that's more of a personal gripe. As soon as they had the success with Fortnite, they dropped one of my favorite games,
what was it?
Paragon. It was
I don't know.
Paragon. It was shit. What is League of Legends considered?
It's a MOBA.
MOBA. Okay, it was a uh, third person MOBA. Which have you ever played a third person MOBA? Because I'm sure you've played an actual MOBA.
Well, I don't know what you mean by third person because they're all third person.
Where you actually have better control of the character.
Oh, so like it's like an over the shoulder kind of thing instead of
Yes, instead of a
a
top
bird's
down.
eye. I got
Yep.
you.
I mean, there's a whole, but there's at least one other something Titans. I've tried playing it. It's not the same, but occasionally I play League of Legends still.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I liked Heroes of the Storm. I get laughed at by my
Yeah,
MOBA
because
friends.
the learning curve on that's just too easily. Supposedly, Dota 2 is the really respected one.
Yeah, that's right.
Dota 2 players laugh at League of Legend players. League of Legend players laugh at Heroes of the Storm.
Also, it has the best acronym, HOTS, man. I'm gonna go play some HOTS. Fun. I don't know.
Only you would bring up the fact it has the best what acronym?
Yeah, better than LOL. I'm gonna go play LOL. Get the fuck out of here.
Such a joke.
Yeah.
Literally.
So that's pretty much my. Any other Star Wars games that you guys think are worth mentioning?
You
Got
two
most of
are
them on my
bigger
list.
Star Wars guys than me. Huh?
So I think you got most of the ones on my list, to be honest. Like I said, I
Mm,
mentioned there's a couple there that I would have probably thrown in there. But
Yeah.
I already made my noobness on Star Wars video games very clear and lore comparison to you two.
Oh, Lego Star Wars. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Lego Star Wars.
As an honorable mention.
I only played maybe 5 minutes of one of them. I can't tell you which one.
It's a
But
series. Kids like it.
yeah, I hear they're funny, like genuinely
Well, all
well
the
written.
Lego games are generally respected from a comedy's perspective. Because Gameway,
Which surprises me.
well, they must have some good writers. I mean, when you
I
have such a
guess, yeah.
lame game, what's your selling point? Comedy. If you don't have the comedy there, it's just a generic beat 'em up, I'm guessing, with all of them.
You would have thought a game based on toys would be good. I guess I like some of the Warhammer games. That's just Warhammer. I don't care what you say. It's playing with toys for adults,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, supposedly, some of the magic novels are pretty good. I've never
Okay.
read any, but supposedly they have a certain niche market.
And just to go back 1 second, I'm not judging anyone that plays with toys as an adult. It looks
Mhm.
like a lot of fun. I just don't have thousands of dollars and plenty of time to paint models. Otherwise, I'd probably be into it.
Yeah, definitely something. If I had more money, I would have gotten into. There was actually a DC superhero version of that when I was living in a town called Westminster. Went to a comic book store mainly to play Magic, but occasionally I got some comic books. Sometimes other thing they had other specials that I usually just looky looed on.
Okay, I was going to
What
ask you what the other things were,
it
because you're like
was
being secretive about it.
no, it
I'd
was
get like
just
some magic cards and goat's blood.
oh yeah,
No big
sacrifice
deal.
to my lord Satan, and typical Satanist comic book stuff. Listen to heavy metal.
Oh God, do you remember Patrick had a friend, this tall black guy that used to be like an army tanker? Remember this guy? I only
Nope.
met him once or twice. I don't remember his name. Chris, maybe, I don't know. And he'd come over sometimes, and he would like, be wearing black leather pants and like a black leather vest with like spikes and stuff, no shirt on underneath, mohawked, piercings, whole nine. Literally drinking a bottle of goat's blood, like this metal and glass bottle. I mean, I didn't know that if it was
I'm
actually
sure
goat's
it was
blood. I didn't ask.
tomato juice. I'm pretty sure it's tomato juice, like the South Park episode where
Who
they turn
knows? But he
butters
was
into it, and he hated
so he
tomato
would
juice.
drinking this goat's blood and looking all like a hot topic ad. And then he would like sit down and watch Yu-Gi-Oh, and be playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Rubio is the most
And I'm still a
evil
Magic fan, so again,
Satanist thing.
I'm not casting any stones. It was just bizarre to see this guy that looks like he would fucking sacrifice a dog to
Oh, the
the Dark
original
Lord
the original
watching this
manga
live.
for Yu-Gi-Oh was actually pretty damn dark. No, barely anyone remembers it. It shifted to the card game propaganda machine, and then it took off. But the original uh, season zero has no traction. Very few of us remembers it. But yeah, it was actually pretty dark, the original series. But I'm betting that's not what he was watching and playing.
No,
So, Bill, you play any Yu-Gi-Oh? I know you have
No,
nephews who roped you into that.
no.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh was terrible in my opinion.
A dumbed down card game. Even the Star Wars game was better than that.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually
Good old
played with
Star Wars
Patrick in
game.
middle school for a bit, Mike, way
I
before
didn't know
we
that.
knew you. We were probably the only two people who tried to play that game. Just
Which
it was
game?
on the Star Wars card
Oh yeah,
trading game.
yeah. I had it. We played it.
Oh, we did. I
Yeah.
remember
Uh huh.
me and Patrick, but
Back in the Beltsville
uh,
days. Yeah.
I'm the old man, so my memory's failing me. I don't
Yeah.
know if something didn't happen or if I just don't remember it anymore.
It was difficult. It was difficult to play. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cards. Oh well, card games.
I miss the
Hearthstone.
the days of Magic actually being good. Back when we used to play, but it's kind of like you were talking about earlier, the like play to win. That's what it feels like now. It's not even
Yeah,
worth playing anymore.
I'll get on Arena, okay? Me and Mike, you still on Arena?
I am. Yeah, I they just had a Pauper event that I played a little bit.
No, yeah, they have some psychotic cards, some psychotic decks when you play, but you
Yeah,
basically play for free. Okay?
Yeah, I've tried playing a couple of times, but it just they've changed the pacing of it and the whole like I said, you can like buy certain cards and basically just give yourself like an automatic win. And I don't know. To me, they've broken it. It's not balanced anymore, and it's been like that for a long time. And you got games that when we used to play, sometimes the last half an hour for one hand or even longer sometimes, and it had strategy to it, and you even worry about like decking out and stuff. But now it's like 2 3 moves and the game's over.
They got rid
I
of
like
Oko. That was fucking up the metagame for a while.
Yeah, no, they've been pretty good about card bans, and at a certain level, it does just turn into people go online and look at the deck list for what's been doing well and
Yeah.
build that.
Yep.
They just
Yeah,
run with it. But I really like
fire.
doing drafts. Like drafts, take all that
Okay.
out of it.
Yep.
Drafting what's there.
You
Cards
need to
are
earn
out
the
of that.
gold for that, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, even paper magic as the kids call it. Getting together. I've done a couple drafts with like Alex and Dave, or even at the family game store when I was still open on Saturday morning. And that's fun. It's just a casual, look at these cards. Then there is the strategy of, well, how can I fit these together to make something that works in a short amount of time? So I like that, or like the pauper event where you can only play with commons. That's fun. That's a fun little twist on it. I don't have much taste for going into. I'll play when I would play. I was playing a lot for a while, and if I would play like a competitive game, maybe I would do well for 2 or 3 matches, and then I'd just get shit on by, like you said, some kid that did all the deck research and knows how to combo off. And also, since we're talking about Magic Arena, just real quick, if anyone out there is listening, and if they play Magic Arena, if your opponent has tapped all their land, and maybe they don't have any cards in their hand, and they have no creatures in the battlefield, obviously they're just gonna let you win, just swing out when, just fucking swing. I hate it when you can tell I'm done, you can tell I'm gonna lose the game, and you still want to combo off and still play all these other creatures. Just swing, man. Fucking get it over
Okay.
with.
I've been guilty of that before, but I
It's
have
lame,
orders
Brian.
for
That is
me.
bad manners.
Well, sometimes I have to get those
No,
achievements,
you
like
have to
play.
do
So no, I'm saying basically for the gold.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You have to
I
play so many
generally
green
play my
cards.
matches just for the gold they give you for play 25 lands,
Sure, I gotcha.
black or blue spells. Sometimes I play just for that.
That
And you
is
know what?
literally your only reason. I guess that's fine, but still, just don't.
Just
I'm also an asshole, so I sometimes
that's
do
true.
some horrible things.
Glad we were able to face the elephant.
Oh, elephant in the room. Okay, I've already been. How many times have I been berated just in this chat for being impatient or some other reason? Impatient, mainly. I like to move things along. Come on, move it on, especially when it's a topic that infuriates me or annoys me or just bores me. Okay.
so like
I
everything.
definitely don't. What's that?
That's it. So like everything.
Well, everything not dealing with anime, at least.
Yeah, right.
No, some things about anime piss me off. I remember I was talking with Chip once, and he just was laughing when I started talking about mangas. I can go on rants, okay, about things, certain things. I can't capture that very easily, but supposedly it's very funny. I wouldn't know myself. Usually just get into a trance and go off. But that's me. You guys are you. Mike has his own specialty.
Yeah, no. For the most part, unless it's like something fucking way out there, I enjoy anyone that talks at length about things they're passionate about. You know, again, unless it's just something that I've heard. I don't want to hear about your cats for 8 hours. But it's nice to see people enjoy things.
All right. Well, I guess you guys want to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. How could I delicately say, shut the hell up and let's finish this thing up?
Leave my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go,
Leave my
put on
house
some
now.
pants and go.
I always work
Wow.
for Mike. Right? Leave my house now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You're doing the old.
I
Wait, no.
get-
Which is the Irish goodbye? The Irish goodbye is when you sneak out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Also known as
Okay.
the Brian Burkbiggler.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of this
German
And
Irish
Go
goodbye.
podcast.